Hey, good day again, Bob Trade Genius, 14th of September, and I want to talk about trading oil. And it's a really good way to really earn good money. The thing about the oil market that I like is that it just is very volatile in a sense that it usually runs a good range. You know, there's a lot of players in the market, very liquid, and there are a couple opposing forces, which makes the market makes it a market. Unlike the stock market where you got algos and passive investing, and it just kind of grinds one way, then it kind of then elevators down. But oil market bounces around a lot, and we have two tools here, and I'm going to show it here. Is so for those who trade with us, this is the money maker, and this is the settings, and I've gone over these before, but you can look at inputs here. So I just do a quick look back of 3. Okay, 2 standard deviation. That's not relevant for this conversation because I have off the dynamic linear regression on this. And then we don't use the filter. See, if you turn it on, it'll a way in which you could just look for extreme moves. Okay, I'm not interested in that for this purpose. And then my lengths are buy length of 4, I do 15-20, sell length of 4, 80-80, and the 4 is basically a look back. It's a smoothing. And what I'm really looking for is edges on the oscillation. So when it gets into this range here and pulls back in, I'm going to get a buy signal. If I get an oversold up to here, it comes back in, I get a sell signal. And so that's how we use that. And then here's the style. And see, you could turn the plots on if you wanted. You could put a background on if you want. See, I don't turn it on because it's such a tight look back, so it's really tight inside the candles. And then here's the colors, so you can change the shape. So you can turn it into a cross. You can go back to have it as a diamond if you wanted to. You can have it as a triangle down, as I have it. And then you have your colors. It's up to you. And then you can make them as transparent or as opaque as you like. See? So that's that. And the other thing that we have is and then this thing here. This is a public indicator. So one of our subscribers gave us a solid here, and we're using 3 different indicators to build the linear regression, and he just went into the Pine Editor programmer, and he just made all 3 indicators into one indicator. But he did a really cool job with this. I just want to hats off to him. And he actually even made it in such a way in which you can even have VWAP on this if you wanted to. And a lot of traders like to trade VWAP, especially if you're trading the futures. And so I encourage you to do that, especially if you're doing intraday trading and you're trading on the futures. And then you can have moving average line. See, this is the 3, 2, and 1 against the VWAP. So I have those off for me, but it's a really cool feature, and I really thank him for that. And appreciate it, John. Really nice work, and it's available to all. And I suggest you use it because the way in which trading works, at least in my humble opinion, is we're just trading a big old oscillator. And so there's forces always pushing everything back into the mean. Things may get stretched for a while, but they definitely do come back. And then you have a trend that shows you a trend, and you just put the trade on your side. Last indicator I want to show you is not available yet. I have about 4 or 5 of my subscribers playing around with it to give me some feedback, but definitely be available by October 1st. And if you're a subscriber, you'll get it. So we don't play the game of, as we add value, we want people to have value. So these indicators are available to you, And as soon as this becomes available, you'll be able to select it and you're able to use it as long as you're subscribing with us. And it's just money in the bank. This, probably could charge 10 times what we charge for this stuff. Okay, so, and this thing here is looking at buying and selling pressure. So it's another momentum indicator. It's the one that I like the most, one I've been trading on for years. And we finally got around to getting it coded into TradingView. And it's also an indicator that you can play with the links. So I like a very responsive look, and I like tight look backs, and so I can catch the trade because I do a lot of short-term trading. So that's the system. Then I have a 65 moving average in there, but for this short time period, it doesn't really apply to what we're going to be talking about today. So let me turn this off. Now that you have that, that's the settings. That's all you really need to trade. And what I look back, very first thing I look at when I start looking at it, I look at what's called the Pearson number, which is right here. John put this in on for us. And anything really 0.35 and less is kind of a neutral trend in my opinion. And anything above 0.90 is, I would consider parabolic and subject to eventual reversal. And so here in the oil trade right now, I'm looking at a 15-minute chart, and that's the one that's most responsive to what I'm trying to do. So that's what I'm going to share, is that I'm looking for opportunities to trade as things get pushed down, especially that we have a neutral tape. You don't want to kind of trade in the top end of the channel. If you're going long, you want to trade the bottom of the channel. If you're going short, you want to trade when it's at the top end of the channel coming back in. And then these signals just help you do it. And especially trading oil. If you're trading futures, I mean, these are beautiful things here. I mean, look, you get a signal here. You're gonna be taking the signal probably right here. See if 54.95 comes into the midline here. You're at 505. That's a quick $100. Okay, so it depends on how you like to trade. If you're trading futures, that's a great trade. If you're trading Nadex, then you look for trades like this. That it pierces the 2 standard deviation. You get a sell signal. You can go short on this with the Nadex if there's an expiration that you could trade. Okay, and so these are really, really sensitive to trading what I would call the hourly trades. And so this trade here you'd only be able to do this trading futures, but this trade right here, you come in and you get this piercing. We didn't get a sell signal for whatever reason. It just didn't register on any of mine for whatever reason, and but it went to 3 standard deviations. It came back in. You short this, okay? The risk reward's in your favor. You'd have shorted this for futures. If you'd have shorted this for Nadex, you'd have did very well. And for futures, depending on how you like to manage your risk, you're going to be sliding down the stops, because you don't know if it's going to hit here and go right back up. So you just keep working your stop down. In hindsight, you could have took this thing all the way down to probably about right here. It would have hit this 2 standard deviation. You should have been out for sure, but highly likely you would have got out well before then. And then turn right around, because it hit this 2 standard deviation. You would have bought a Nadex long on an hourly, and you're scalping points, okay? Just like you scalp futures, scalping points, and just rinse and repeat, and you'd have had a great day. Once Europe closes, after like 9:30, the oil trade for me is the best trade is really from like 5 in the morning Pacific time to when Europe closes, so like 12:30, and then you get this final right at the end of the oil move, the last hour. It usually does a run one way or the other, and that's what it did here. So it kind of pushed into the close, and then into the last hour, and then it just dropped into the close. So you would have probably took this trade the last hour if you're active. But that's it, and you just could trade this thing all day long. To me, it's the best one to trade for Nadex. I have trouble trading it with ES because it just jerks around so much. But oil is pretty smooth, and I think you get some really good trades with it. And then if you want to look back out at deeper time frame, this works out works beautifully as well if you want to trade like USO, and by puts and calls, it's downtrending. So, you know, you get about puts here, and if you throw USO up on this thing, I'll show it to you in a second, is that you can then take the trade, get out, take the trade, get out. You can also buy options on futures too, and you just can work the trade, and you know, you'd have done just fine. Like I said, this is end of the day stuff. Excuse me. You would have been Fridays are tough days to short. So that's one thing I always tell people. Fridays, you know, take the first long trade and be done, and you just don't screw around with trading oil unless you're looking at a deeper time frame, which we are. You know, we're expecting oil to fall going into the autumn time frame. And so we're in on some puts right now with UCO that we're actually profitable on. So you know, we got in last week, and the trade so far is to the green, and I expect it to fall further. And because we just have a glut in oil, and the charts is agreeing with us, we're trending down. Usually summertime is a move higher. We expect it a bit of a move up into this, what they call the shoulder season, and now I'm expecting this thing to fall off. So just look for opportunities to short oil. But anyway, I just want to kind of show you the system. I like it a lot. You'll like it too. And you know, you can trade the 15-minute if you want to trade you know, futures or very quick trade. The hourly works nice for some swing trades, and the daily for even longer swing trades. And then here's USO. Okay, so, and USO for me, you know, I mostly like to trade credit spreads with USO. So when you get sell signals on this, and it's like a 2 standard deviations, you know, you could sell the strike above it, and then maybe a buck above that, and capture some premium. USO trades weekly, which is nice. And then you get a trade down here that's almost 3 standard deviations. This is where you would take a trade long. So, but normally you want to trade with the trend, and the higher, farther away it gets from the center line, the more likely it is for you to take the trade. And you don't have to force a trade. If the oil trade's not working, you say, oh, I got to sell something, I got to take it. You just look for something else that's trading on the extremes. And I'm going to talk about that in a video later this weekend, is just hit your watch list. Find stuff that's at the edges. Find stuff that's at the edges, like here when the trend is going down, to take an easy trade down. Okay, and we did that with AGQ when silver went parabolic short term. Even though I'm a silver nut, you know, you just can't ignore the opportunity. And then now I'm looking for a chance to actually short ZSL once this silver push down is completed. And so, and that's how you make money. So you just look for the edges and trade in. And I hope this is helpful. If you guys want this, if you're a subscriber, just give me another week or two, and you just get me your into Matt, get your TradingView name, and we'll get you turned on. But I just want to make sure we may not do a final tweak or two to eliminate as many false positive trades out there as we can, and then let it go. But Moneymaker's available. If you guys have that level of service, you can just request access, and we'll grant it to you usually within 12 hours, but for sure within 24 hours. Thanks for listening. You guys have a great day, and hope this is another way for you to make money. This is one of the trades that I do. I'm trying to show you the trades that I like to do the most. Trade volatility, trade oil, and then I'll show you how you could trade SPY for call options or put options, so that you can have another opportunity to just do some swing trades, and especially if small accounts. You know, you could start off with just putting 1, 2, or 3 contracts in, and slowly build your account up until you have enough to do some more meaningful trades. But you know, you just grind it out, you'll make good money over time. Thanks for listening. If you want to trade with us, tradelikeagenius.com. Love to have you. Bye-bye.